All right, guys, welcome in. I did a live stream last night and kind of did a VIP tour of everything that we can see on our side. Went through each of the channels, gave everybody an overview, and then we did some Q&A and stuff at the end. But I wanted to make just a quick, hopefully like 10 to 15-minute video that just goes through each of the channels and just does kind of a thorough walkthrough of everything that we have to offer and just kind of explains each of the sections, the categories, and the mindset kind of behind them and what the goal was. So first of all, I wanted to start at VIP upgrade. So if you're on the free side and you want to come over, you can come up here to VIP upgrade, scroll up through this, and then you'll click right here onto this link right here. That will take you over to WAP. WAP is essentially just the PayPal for online communities. It handles all of your payments, subscriptions. You can see where you're at. They have like different awards and different things that you can do. But essentially, once you have it set up, none of the trades or any of the VIP aspects will move to WAP. You'll still be on Discord. It just unlocks new channels and new categories for you. So that would be the first place that you would go. Once you have that taken care of, you come down here to technical difficulties, and I put a pretty thorough explanation here. Once you have WAP, you'll need to connect your WAP and your Discord together. It's super simple. Once you have the invite, you'll just hit claim access on your WAP account. But there are a few steps that you need to go through in order to accomplish that. So I've got those listed here. 6 steps, and then there's a nice little like 2 or 3 minute explainer video that actually goes through visually what you need to do, which makes it a little bit easier sometimes. So we'll start with that. That's how you would upgrade to VIP, connect your WAP to your Discord, and then honestly after that you can forget about WAP for the most part in terms of the engagement, the VIP aspects, all the benefits. None of that is going to be on WAP. That's just the payment processor. Everything will be here on Discord. So once you're unlocked and you connect your accounts, here's kind of an overview of everything that you'll see. And again, I'll go through each one of these in detail, but this just kind of gives you an idea. If you upgrade to VIP and you can't see all of this, then you need to shoot me a DM after you go back through these steps here to make sure that you are connected with your accounts successfully. If you can't do it, again, DM me whenever you need to. I respond to all DMs, as everybody knows. All right, so let's jump into this here. We'll go back up to the beginning. So obviously we've got general stuff up here, rules, disclaimer, VIP upgrade. You guys can already see that. Announcements. You guys can see this already too. This is just where I'll update with different things that we have going on. Like today we added a new role to the community, so I put that in the announcements. The live stream I did, I put in here. Different things like that. I'll also list the upcoming promos and give updates on that as we go. So it's just kind of a general announcements. Once you're in VIP, it'll unlock this one here, which is just help us improve. Basically, any ideas that you have, anything that you guys would like to see changed or added to the channel, maybe something that we're missing. People have come up with some really good ideas in here. And honestly, I've executed almost all of them. You can see here when people come, I'll take it back to the council. If they like the idea, I'll implement it within a day or two. So we do pay attention to every single one of these. Obviously, we're always trying to get better and give you guys a better product in terms of what you guys are seeing and organizing everything. So if anybody has any ideas, feedback, good, bad, whatever it is, drop it in here. I definitely want to hear from you guys. Next section, fucking scammers. We've had this issue pop up in the last like 2 or 3 weeks pretty consistently. I get DMs all the time. I always send them to Discord. They don't really seem to give a shit. They just tell me to report them. So we drop in here anytime somebody is impersonating me or trying to scam new people coming in. The biggest thing that they do is they want people to go to this livecopytrades.org link and then like we'll trade for you. I get DMs all the time of people wanting me to do that. I can't legally do that, and so I always nicely say no. So under no circumstance would we ever send anything like this in terms of any sort of copy trading or wanting you guys to send money somewhere or deposit crypto in a wallet or any bullshit like that is just absolutely not going to come from me. Anybody who's DM me knows it's just like DMing one of your boys. It's not any different, so it's pretty easy to tell when it's not me, but definitely don't fall for these. I'm working through right now. Discord doesn't offer it temporarily, but they used to have a verification process where I could get a blue check mark. So then that would help because obviously if you guys didn't see that, you would just know off the jump. But the names will always be similar. They'll add like a period or an underscore or something, but it'll look like my name. They'll copy my icon. They'll copy like the animation, except it's not moving. That's another way that you can tell is everything is still because they've just taken screenshots of whatever my shit is. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Again, that's popped up in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, but they pretty much are sending messages to every new member that joins. So definitely not us. Ignore those. Please report them. And then hopefully we can make these go away. But honestly, it's probably not going to go away. It's probably going to get worse just because that's kind of the world that we're in. So just be on the lookout for that. Again, zero copy trading going on. We're never going to ask you guys to do that. So please report those scam accounts. Again, technical difficulties. That's where I had this information. But it's also if you guys have any sort of other issues, you can create a thread here. I'll respond to all of them. Any questions, anything like that. So drop any issues you guys have here. Then we have the live channel. I'm not going to click on it because it'll say that I'm live. But anytime we have like stage events or live events, or I'm going to hop on the audio or whatever it is, we'll do that through the FT live event. And obviously I'll put it in announcements ahead of time. All right, let's get into the call outs now. So my call out channel is up here at the top once you're in VIP. Again, quality over quantity. Obviously we're staring at Snap, so a lot of people are going to argue that. But we can go up here into my threads. I always put everything in a thread so that everybody can communicate in that thread, ask any questions. I'm super engaged when I'm in one of these plays. Pretty much constant updates until I'm out of them. And then once I'm out of them, I'll immediately put the bell and the close signal here. So that's me. My trading style, I'm not a super technical trader. I'm trading off of news. I'm trading off of macro political shifts that are happening in different segments that I think are going to move the market. I'm also a business person by trade, so I can get into these businesses. I understand the way debt works. I understand the way free cash flow works. And so I can get into kind of the back end of some of these companies and figure out pretty quick, like, oh, this company is screwed. Or, for example, my HOND call, that was based around the fact that they took some short-term notes, some tier 2 notes about 12 months out that were contingent on them signing, I think it was like 250,000 megawatts of contracts. And again, as a business person, you're just not going to do that deal unless you know that those deals are coming. And so in that situation, you can kind of put yourself in the mindset of the people that are running that company. And I can kind of be like, okay, if I was them, I'm just not going to do this deal, because if they don't sign those contracts, that short-term debt is essentially going to bury them because they're bleeding off so much cash as it is building these fucking massive facilities. So different things like that, different insights that only come, I think, if you have experience in building and scaling businesses from nothing to large. So I think I offer a unique perspective there, and most of my trades are based around my understanding of the company, larger macro political shifts, earnings, different key events that are coming up, understanding the economic catalysts that could affect different segments at different times, and trying to get out in front of that. Okay, next up, we've got Tumadre. Tumadre's obviously playing with more money than most of us combined. Anybody who's been in here knows that. So he's generally in and out of these things pretty quick. He will post like the occasional options play, but generally he's scalping momentum plays that are on the rise anyway, or he thinks they will be, and he's getting out quick. Or if he starts moving down, he triggers his stop loss and he gets out and he moves on to the next one. But obviously, with the amount of money that he's moving in, it doesn't take much for him to scrape off, like right here, very, very quickly. Moved in, 1280, got out at 1305, 25,000 profit. So that's kind of his game. If you guys want to follow along with those, obviously he's risking a lot of capital when he does these trades. So he's moving into stuff that he knows will move. If you have a smaller portfolio, might make less sense because obviously, like that move I just showed you up there is probably not going to return 25 grand for any of us. But yeah, great trader, knows what's going on, very focused, obviously, because he's moving in large amounts of money. Then we have Joe Baba. Joe Baba is a little bit more long-term, I'd say medium to longer terms in terms of what he's trying to do. Way more patient, way less call-outs than some of the other channels, but he's moving into stuff that he's really confident in, that he's willing to hold for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, even longer in some cases. So again, very strategic, very technical, very, very smart, but moves very calculated and only gets into things that he's willing to hold for a while. Then we've got Farnor, who we just added over the weekend. So he actually doesn't have any official call-outs in his channel yet. But he's obviously on the council. He's picked the last 2 winning council picks for everybody. He's been on a fucking tear in terms of in the council, and on our Sunday picks we'll all submit. And even the ones that we haven't voted on, sometimes he's just really been dialed in lately. So we got his channel launched as well. And he's gonna be, I would say, kind of somewhere between me and Joe Baba, maybe not quite as long term, but again, he's probably going to put out, maybe 1 to 3 option plays a week, and he's willing to sit in those and let those play out. All right, moving down here to Mike. So Mike is very catalyst based. He's, I'd say, short term in terms of the options, short to sometimes medium term. And he loves playing catalyst. So he loves playing economic events. He loves earnings. And a lot of times with earnings, it's like, basically a coin toss. Even when you win, sometimes you don't. But he has definitely been nailing these things. And I know a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people in the receipts are always tagging him and thanking him for plays that he's putting out. So he's in there working every single day. All right. Then we got Neil. I would say Neil, probably across the board, is the most well-rounded trader. He's very technical, but he also understands the same stuff I do in terms of larger macro political shifts. He understands the way businesses work. But yeah, I would say across the board, probably the most well-rounded. His portfolio is pretty diverse in terms of the positions that he's in and also the length of time. I would say he's doing everything basically, but mainly focused on short to medium term options. He focuses a lot too on dark money trades in terms of dark flow that's coming in that can't be seen from us. He has access to some of those back end systems, so we're always bouncing ideas off of him and getting his opinion on different trades. Even if it wasn't his call out specifically, we'll generally do like a little Neil check if we have time or if he's not mountain biking. But Neil's in here putting in work, putting out tons of picks a week for you guys. He likes to stay diverse. He gets in and out of stuff. But again, I'd say most of his plays are going to be short to medium term, super well thought out, technical, and definitely hitting the right segments with the right timing. So that's the individual call out channels. Then we have community call outs. So anybody that's VIP can hop in here. They can start a thread with any call out they want. We do kind of have this format set up just so everybody can keep track of everything that's happening. And then anybody can hop in these threads and ask questions to the person who called it out. We did put this kind of barrier to entry in terms of having to create a thread just so we didn't get a mass, just everybody doing a bunch of call outs every day. If somebody feels really confident about one, takes the time to make the thread, then people can hop in there and ask questions about what their thinking is, and then they kind of have to track that play all the way through. Then we have the Sunday free picks, which everybody should be pretty familiar with at this point. I did want to point out this one section, so I get questions sometimes in terms of how we get to the council pick. Currently 6 for 6 on these. Obviously, we've got another one coming for you guys tomorrow, so hopefully we'll make that 7 for 7. But this is how we get there. So if you want to come up, I'm not going to read this right now just for time purposes, but these are all of the steps that we take to get a pick that we feel like is good for the whole community, that everybody can make some money off of. So if you're interested in figuring out how we get to each Sunday pick, you can hop in here and read this at any time. Then you'll open up the general chat once you're over to VIP also. Let's see what we got. So during market hours, general chat's definitely focused on trading. I'd say probably 98%. Everybody's either talking about certain plays, talking about the industry overall, the way the market's moving. People will hop in there and discuss their own individual plays and kind of be trading on their own as well. And then obviously when the market closes, the general chat's just for anything and everything that people want to talk about. So you never know where the conversation is going to go. Right now we're talking about V8 twin turbos. So again, it's kind of free game in here. Everybody can talk about whatever they want. You guys obviously already know about free chat and the free flex section, just so everybody has a place to post their receipts, whether you're VIP or not. Then you'll unlock the newsroom. So you come down to Breaking Fucking Tea, which is basically just our breaking news channel. I created that channel when the whole T app thing was going on, so I just thought it was kind of funny. So we called it that. But people are generally posting in here different due diligence, different breaking news, things that are going to affect different segments or individual stocks. Josh is super active in here in terms of the information that he has. And then, yeah, this is, I don't want to call this a free-for-all, but we're definitely hopping in here with different news as the day goes on from basically start to finish, like right here. This was a big one, obviously, because this had a huge effect on our last Sunday pick. And just a bunch of these. So people are always posting breaking news. Definitely a good place to pay attention to what's happening. We generally get the news out within a minute or two of it being posted anywhere else, so it gives everybody time to react to that news and decide what they want to do. Then we've got upcoming earnings. So every week, essentially, we will post this right here, the earnings whispers. So we'll know for the next week coming up any of these that we want to focus on or target for any individual plays for some catalyst that might affect these. So this is a good place just to know what's coming for the week ahead. I love this one too. Grinch, love you for this. He's always posting these. This is basically the same thing, but it's ranked, or not ranked, but it's listed by implied volatility. I'm sorry, the implied movement off of the implied volatility at the money option chain price. So it kind of gives you an idea of what the market is expecting in terms of up, down, how much, and can kind of give you an idea of where you want to target based on that. Then we have legitimate question. Any question you guys want to ask in here. Obviously, right now we're talking about books. But anything you guys want to ask in here, any questions, whether it's about the group or whether it's about trades or the market or whatever it is, I always answer any direct questions that I'm tagged in here, and I try to do a good job of giving you guys a thorough breakdown of that. Then we have the Sports Lounge. This is actually going to be, after October 15th, is going to be its own standalone category with a separate subscription. It's just generally a different group of guys that we're attracting now that are focused on the prediction markets. We've got Loot taking the reins on that. So if you guys subscribe to VIP before October 15th, you actually get grandfathered into that. So there'll be no sort of increased membership price or anything like that. Anybody after October 15th, the new people coming in, they would subscribe to the main channel, and then they would subscribe to the Sports Lounge as well if they wanted to participate in that. Then we've got the aftermath. So this is kind of when the dust settles, everything else that's going on. We've got the tip jars here. I was getting a bunch of DMs, a bunch of people in the suggestions, the help us improve, we're asking for this, so I added this in here. So all the call out people have tip jars in there if anybody's interested in that. Then we've got shits and gigs. This is just like a funny place to post memes and different videos and different things like that. And obviously we're just in here posting different funny stuff. This is a funny ass meme, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so this is kind of a place to unwind a little bit, relax at the end of the day, laugh a little bit. People post some shit that has me cracking up in here sometimes. Then we've got the receipts. You guys are familiar with this, so end of the day or even during the day, we'll post winning positions and winning trades and pictures of our portfolios and different things like that. This is the accountant channel, so this one's still in the works, but the idea behind this one, and eventually we'll get there, is that there would be a bot that's going to track all of the call-outs from everybody's individual call-out channels, and then they would give each channel or each play either a win or a loss rating, and then they would rank the overall call-out percentages for each of the people doing the call-outs. So before you took a play, you could go in there, you could look at that person, here's how they normally do, here's their hit rate percentage on those, even breaking it down by the type of play that it is. So this is a really good resource. We're having to build like a whole like custom bot basically, but with a bunch of back end stuff to be able to do this. So it's taken a little bit longer, but I know JP's been working on this, so we'll get this out. Then we've got the change makers section. Most recently, obviously, I posted the GoFundMe for the member of our community that's going through this battle right now. But outside of that, people will be in here posting, myself included, different community things that they're doing. When I go out and give out food and stuff in Austin, I'll post it here. So this is a great place to give back and then kind of connect with everybody and show everybody what you're doing, not in like a braggadocious way, but just as a way to inspire other people to give back in their communities too. Then we've got the Sunday free pick receipts that you guys are familiar with. So obviously if you catch a win from any of the Sunday picks like I did here, you can post those here and obviously we'll celebrate you with that. Then we have the Academy, starting with Dr. Stocks, which is Josh's channel here. He's a real doctor. That's why we called it Dr. Stocks, just because we thought it was funny. And he's constantly posting due diligence, plays. He has access to all of these different apps where he's always posting information, macro stuff about individual stocks. He's generally pretty accurate with the information he's providing. We got the Academy chat, so people come in here and start different threads. Different things. Obviously, this one's here. Somebody asked about book recommendations. So just anything here that would be focused on improving your life or improving trading. You can ask those things here or start your own thread sharing something with the group that you think would be valuable. These sections here I'm still working on. So trading basics right now, I've just been posting like different little videos that I think will help. Obviously, I started this FT dictionary posting line, so I'm posting like just different key terms that people may or may not know and kind of giving a very basic explanation and an explanation that I think would make sense to people. So a lot of good information in here, but this section too is still in the works, and we will definitely continue to build this out. Community resources. This is focused on resources that anybody has access to or that they know about that could help the community. So I'll post like our daily newsletter in there. Again, some of these videos that explain the basics of certain things. Robinhood Gold, Tireless hopped in here and posted a bunch of really, really good sites for different information, different news, social trending stock info, political stuff. So just any resources that we're all using that help us make informed decisions, you can post those here and share those with the group if you have something valuable that you don't see already listed here. Then we have this section here, the Trend Vision bot section. I recently opened this up to everybody in the VIP, so everybody has access to all of these things now. This is basically a scanner that is pulling information based off these different things here. So obviously IPO scanner, that's going to scan new IPOs coming up and what the Trend Vision bot thinks that they're going to do. We have Momentum Scalps, which is ran by our man Scalptimus Prime. He is paper trading intentionally because he feels like it takes the emotions out of it for him and just helps him post plays that he thinks are trending in certain directions. He doesn't post exact positions. He doesn't post any price targets or anything like that. He's just looking at flow in the charts, and then he's posting what he thinks are these positions in terms of which way they're going to go. I know when I did the live stream last night, a bunch of people were saying that they used his channel as like confirmation if they were going to get into some sort of momentum play, or if they were buying options in one direction or the other, they would kind of do a double take here just to see what he was thinking as well. Then we have momentum alerts. So this is coming from the Trend Vision bot. And this is just known runners. It pulls from everything essentially. So it's basically pulling what it believes to be the best opportunities from all of these different subcategories down here, from news to potential squeeze alerts. Dark Money we just added today. So obviously that's G Money and Dark Lord J. Historically, they were in the Momentum Alerts channel, kind of doing the same thing. So they would basically take all of the alerts from the bot, and then of those, they would pick what they believe to be the best one based off of their experience with this type of trading in terms of momentum trading. That was getting a little bit too confusing, so we actually created this channel today where the bot will not be posting, but only G Money and Dark Lord J can post. And so that'll just make it way easier for people to follow along if they're following their plays, because they won't get all of these bot alerts in between. So these guys can kind of just do their thing. So basically it's a funnel in terms of all of these are being linked to momentum alerts, where the main Trend Vision bot is picking the best opportunities out of these. And then of those, G Money and Dark Lord are then taking those and kind of putting the human touch on them in terms of confirming breakouts, looking at different levels, and then posting those plays to you guys there. Everything else at the bottom is just admin. So that's really a full tour. That's what you get when you get into the VIP side. We're adding a go long channel in terms of ETFs and different long holds and things like that. So we're constantly improving. Again, once you come over too, if you have anything that you want to offer, or any pieces of advice, or things that we're screwing up, or maybe things that you've seen better in other Discord servers and you want to let us know, you can always hop in to help us improve. I'll always respond to those. Even if we end up not executing them, I'll tell you that we're not going to do it, and I'll explain kind of the thinking behind the council in terms of, yes or no, why or why not we're going to do that. So that really wraps up the tour and kind of gives you guys hopefully a little bit more insight in terms of the mindset behind each of the people making the call outs, and then obviously to the individual channels and kind of the intended purpose behind those. I really appreciate you guys for being part of this community. On the free side, on the VIP side, we have an amazing group of people. I've honestly been shocked with the turnout and how everything has kind of come together in the momentum that we have. So I definitely want to keep building that, keep growing our community of like-minded individuals that are lifting each other up and just focused on making money together. So I appreciate you guys. I'm out for now.